So generally what do I do is when somebody asks for a meet like this on any topic of discussion, I have few people who find some interest in some topic, so I also post it to them.
Yes, that's nice.
I ask them if you find somebody useful, you can. I am from Hyderabad now, though I am basically from north of Kerala. So we have
Okay.
now N Kutti, he is from next to my village. Athira is from south part of Kerala. Bipin Tavrul is my nephew who joined from Dubai.
Okay.
Vignesh is from Thiruvananthapuram, the capital city of Kerala. So whoever
I've
is,
never been to Kerala.
yeah, it's a beautiful place to visit,
Yes, I've seen.
not to stay. It's a beautiful place to visit. I love Hyderabad for staying activities than in Kerala.
Hyderabad is famous for pearl.
Hyderabad is more, yeah, actually Hyderabad doesn't produce pearl, but Hyderabad makes good pearl ornaments, because most of the ladies, Muslim ladies, they are very good in the handwork. But the pearl comes from abroad, not from anywhere.
Okay.
Pearl is only a product of sea. Amitabh Bachchan's beautiful song, no? Koshish Karne Walo.
Yeah.
In that there is a story of Moti. So
Yes, yes.
they have to sink inside water to get motis, and then that comes from mostly from, but traditionally the Nizam was good in collecting items from different part of the world
Yeah, no.
globally, and he had many wives, therefore probably more ornaments were
Thinking
required.
of the
Therefore they need to cover many part of the body with the pearls.
even the Japanese culture is similar to Hyderabad. I
Yeah.
don't say that it is completely same. मुगल इम्पैक्ट रहा यहाँ तो स्पेशली आमेर पे तो रहा बहुत, तो यहाँ का रजवाड़ा जो है वो more into stud jewelry.
But
Ranchi things.
Jaipur also is very famous for. I think all the Mughals made these ornaments more.
मुगल्स को मूर्ख बनाने वाले आमेर के राजा हैं.
Yeah.
And we should learn. We all should learn that tricks.
Atira actually is a student in Delhi. I don't know. Atira is in Kerala now or Delhi?
Kerala.
Yeah. Atira was with me when she was in 9th or 10th. Atira?
10th and plus 1 also.
Yeah, 10th plus 1. Now she is doing graduation.
Great.
So she is following for last 4-5 years. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. We could start.
Yes.
3 now. Yeah, in fact.
So should I ask questions?
Yeah, you could introduce yourself, because most of the other people we used to meet once in a while. You are a new guest.
Okay. So my family is expanding now. Myself, Dr. Shuchita Vatsal. I am professionally a nutritionist.
So your doctorate is in nutrition?
Yes, it's in genetic nutrition, that is for old age people. So, बूढ़ों से प्रेम था तो यही लाइन चूज करी.
Where did you
And
study?
then,
Where did you do your
I
master?
did everything, masters and all from Jaipur and Rajasthan.
Jaipur, Rajasthan. Okay.
I was fortunate enough to get the seats and all. The University of Rajasthan I studied, and later on I did some small courses of diplomas and all.
Okay.
So yoga was part of my life since my childhood. I did a diploma course just to certify myself.
Okay.
I learned astrology since my childhood. So Guru Diksha ली थी. So I'm an astrologer just to remove the myths about our religion.
Good.
I know how to draw caricatures. So, सीखा, थोड़ा सीखा, थोड़ा आता था.
Good.
So I am into drawing political caricatures right now.
Okay. We had a great cartoonist caricature, political caricature drawing in many magazines from Kerala in the early 90s and 80s. And he was a great writer, O.V. Vijayan.
I was in touch with Sudhir Telangi.
Okay.
He is basically from Jaipur. So I learned little bit of caricature art.
Okay.
And what else?
Add stories to that, it becomes cartoons, right? Relevance to the present political situation, it becomes cartoon, right?
The politicians are mostly those are cartoons themselves.
Yeah.
So very less of them are representing our feelings in the world.
Okay. So we actually, Dr. Suchita and me are attending the World UN Brotherhood of Yoga Community for last few days, and that's how we know. Okay, now what made you to have this discussion invitation?
I heard a word of mythology, but I feel like Hinduism is not about myths, it's reality. So why do we call mythology? Ram is not a mythological character. He was there. So I feel like.
So
that's the truth of life. Why do we call it mythology?
Okay, you prefer that to be called as history.
Yeah. Our own heritage, cultural heritage.
Yeah, either it is heritage includes both mythology and history.
Yeah.
Actually, why we don't call it as history? Why we call it as mythology?
Yes.
If you want to understand, we should know what is mythology. Mythologies are stories. When we say Akbar we know he lived. But we don't depict the story of Akbar. We don't depict the story of Parashiraja as it is. What is popularly known is through films, through storybooks, through many pictorial representations. Otherwise, history should be like a document which is like a textbook which is at a higher level.
Yes.
But we learn about these characters through movies, through documentaries, through pictures. So it is basically the life history is also called story sometimes. Newspaper reporters, whatever they write in a newspaper is called a story. They will say, I gave a story today. And that comes as a news. Because what a reporter writes is his version. Anything which you add a little bit of masala to that. You add little flesh, not the skeleton alone. So that means you make it either too exaggerated, which may not be the truth. Nobody knows what is truth. We can only represent facts. So, what is the difference between a myth and a story now? Stories are which are maybe believed by only very few. When it is believed generations together, that story becomes myth. So myth is more authentic than stories. We don't want to tell Rama's story. When it is concretized in our mind, that becomes myth. because it describes a belief system. It describes an explanation of what happened sometime. Probably today we are not able to prove it. It is fact that we cannot prove. Right? There are many things which we cannot prove. I know all of us believe, still I will say believe, because we have not seen. Earth is round. Earth is an ellipsoid. Earlier we believed that it is a spheroid. Before that we believed it is a plane surface. Up to maybe early BC, 30 BC or sometime. Most of the philosophers, even when up to 6th, 5th century BC, 4th century BC, everybody believed that earth is flat.
But we have Varaka representing round earth.
That is what I am saying, because it was not very popular, it was not a great myth. That's what I wanted to tell you. Suppose that story was more popular, people would have considered earth as a sphere, and that would have been the starting. And probably from the fact which I see today, I will prove that earth is not round, earth is flat. It would have been the other way. I don't know how many people know that there are millions of educated people all across the globe still believes earth is flat. I keep saying it is belief. As far as they are concerned, they say others believe that earth is round. So the difference is a very narrow difference between what is belief and what is fact. Because fact is not truth. It is my version of truth. Belief is your version. When I don't believe it, I will say you are blind. So what happened Rama's period, I don't think there was no documentation. But we have textbooks Ramayana. But both Ramayana and Mahabharata, both are called Puranas. What is Purana? Purana is agreed that it is not fact, it is not truth, it is a story. Because there is lot of exaggeration, lot of every age-wise chronological it is not explained. He is dealing with some people are explained. There is no date and time. History means you should put date and time. That is not there. But from the activity what happened during the time, maybe cosmological graph can be drawn to derive that this happened so and so time. Therefore people went back in age to prove that this happened so and so time. That is how the dating of not even centuries. It is very crude way of probably computation. Because earth itself is not uniformly behaving. It is not the same earth what we have today. 200 million years, the South Pole, the India was in South Pole. But it crossed the equator and went to North Pole. That is what geophysics says. That's what the proof says. Once upon a time it was Pangea. The other day I was talking about lot of fossils which are picked up from different part of the 7 different continents. They all prove that once upon a time the earth was a single island, then separated. So there is nothing wrong when people believe that earth was flat. Because for them it's only one. And around that there is water. Even today, I don't know how many of you Google and then find out flat earth. There are a lot of videos coming, there are a lot of people who are talking about it. And we, the so-called educated people, say they are all fools. Once upon a time when somebody said earth was round, all the other people thought that it was flat. They told this man who is talking earth is round is a fool. So what is mythology and what is fact, what is truth, what is story, what is history? Nothing. Whether Rama lived or not is little consequence to us. What is more important is the message what Rama has given.
But people don't follow the methods as well.
See, I have a small book, Life Made Simple, in which why people cannot prove this. There are lot of contradictions in our so-called mythology or story or history or whatever you call it. Kerala came into existence because Parashurama thrown a axe. It's unbelievable that somebody can throw axe and then get it. But yes, if at all it happened. Now what is Kerala? There is a Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan who is ruling. That is Kerala. Kerala came into existence in 1950 when the division came in terms of language. Before that there was no Kerala. There was no place name called Kerala. There was Travancore, there was Malabar. So how can Parashurama create Kerala? So some portion of the people who are living in that geographical area believe that Parashurama made it. Let us take that as a fact. Now, in the stories of Dashavatar, Malsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana. Yeah, now there is a story Vamana who made one of the greatest kings of that geographic area, Kerala, was pushed down by Vamana, and Mahabali was the king who ruled. Which part of Kerala he ruled? Some part of Kerala he ruled. That means Kerala was there during Vamana's period. After that is Parashurama came. So how can Parashurama create Kerala and before that there is a Vamana who came to Kerala? Contradiction. That is why we don't call it as history, because stories are written by different people at different point of time. And now in my book I argued saying that Mahabali is not in Kerala because there is no place called Mahabalipuram in Kerala. It is in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
There is a Vamana temple. So Vamana would have had a lot of disciples. That portion would have been part of Tamil Nadu. Kerala came quite later. Yes, fine. But then how can Tamil Nadu people don't believe in Mahabali, only Kerala people believe in Mahabali? It is not Mahabali, it is Maveli. But there is a similar name, Mahabali and Maveli. People thought it is one and the same. So it's a confusion created later. That's how I argue in this book. I wrote Mahabali is not Maveli. So sometime you will have to create contradictions, and that has to be argued over a period of time. Some beliefs will go. There is a great, now earth is round or not, earth is flat or not, it's a scientific myth. It is called a scientific myth. Whether there are some animals in this world lived like, which are huge, now we will see in movies, which is not existing today. Then immediately we say it's a scientific myth. The PK movie, the movies will show a lot of things. From space something comes and lands here. It's a myth created by somebody. So myth is something which many people believe. There was a time when I used to go for lectures during early or late 1990s. People used to ask, is it the world is going to end by 2000? Because somebody made a movie that end of the world is 2000. Then I said the movie will end, world will continue. So there is lot of impact which can be made by stories. Therefore both Ramayana and Mahabharata, we call it as either Purana or Itihasa. So what is the purpose of Ramayana and Itihasa? To establish what is written in the Veda as dharma or dharmic way of life. I wanted to make somebody lived in this world like a king, because king is one historic character where people try to follow. So we want to create a story, a mythology, a Purana, where an Itihasa Purusha. So Itihasa Purusha like Rama, Krishna and all was created by who, like Vyasa and Valmiki. Now the beauty of these Itihasa Purana, which became or made so popular to stay for long years, probably no other stories lived in this world as long as this. That is because the writers themselves are characters in the story. Valmiki is a character in the Ramayana. Vyasa is a character in Mahabharata. I don't think no stories are made where the story writer himself has got a role to play. So this way, when you write, it becomes history, not story. Because there is a story writer and you believe he lived, and he is writing his story, therefore it has to be history. Correct? So that is why it is not a story, it is a history. But he added lot of things extra to that, therefore it is called mythology. Mythology is not wrong, it is a better word than story, because mythology established in the minds of generations for years together, and they themselves added little extra to that to make them as a greater character. So each movie when we make them bigger and bigger. That is what I wanted to talk about mythology. But mythology is not reality. We have a lot of myths. Even a small dream which I have to become so and so, and I keep a story around it. That is my myth, which I hold for a long time. So I daydream on that. I also have night dreams on that. That can be a great thought in me which became so much established. But then reality is not that. It may not happen at all. So any future plans also can be called as mythology. That's called a psychological mythology. These are called historical mythology. And there is called antiological mythology. That is like medicine. There are no proof for most of the medicines what is given. Do you think, do you know in Kerala we have the spider web, when the spider dies and vacates, that what we see as white patches here and there, that can be used, and from that you can make medicines which can be used as eye drops also. If somebody asks, is there is a proof? Do you think some doctor would have made everything possible in the world to make juice and put it into 100 eyes to check whether it can be used as a medicine or not? I don't think. Understood? This is some sort of a... See, yesterday, Dr. Shuchita, you should... immediately when I came back after my dinner, I took a break for dinner. Immediately after that, Dilip ji asked me, comment from Dr. TPS. Without knowing what he was talking all this time, I gave a comment. It was actually a big joke. And soon after the program was over, I was looking at Facebook to see on which I gave comment. And that is why I made it so generic. Yada pinde tada brahmande and all I spoke. I never, that is why when he asked me to speak, immediately I didn't speak. In between, the Kripal Singh spoke, Dr. Kripal Singh spoke, so I took one point from that, it is Om, and I expanded. But then I found Dilip ji was talking about Shankaracharya's Shivoham Shivoham. I missed all that. In fact, I missed all that because there was a internet problem, so I got disconnected. So I thought that's the right time to go for my dinner. So I had my dinner. By the time I came back, whole the meditation was over. I never knew that there was a meditation. So who gave me that spark for speaking like that? It exactly matches with what he was talking. You understood? You cannot explain it. There are many such incidents happened. You don't require a connectivity. So we get connected. The time tells you, oh, this is the topic. It is not what I am thinking. These are all what made a lot of people to prove that this works as a medicine for this. I don't think somebody did it. There was a great question asked to Srinivasa Ramanujam by his professor Hardy in UK. How did you write these theorems? Nobody knows. He wrote theorems. And then Hardy asked, why can't you give proof for all these theorems? Then immediately Hardy said, don't waste your time writing theorems, the proof for theorems, because the time which he spends for writing proof for theorems is a waste, because he will lose time for writing another theorem. Because he kept on writing theorems. You know, until his death he wrote theorems, and even today people are not able to prove most of them. So how did he do this computation? I keep saying, in our mother tongue there is the second letter alphabet A. That is the answer for most of these questions. How did you do it? A. So that is what is called the antiological myths. I don't know the spelling. I don't remember the spelling. AE or IE. There are confusions on this. I get confused sometimes. Or etiological. Maybe Athira must know. She is a philosophy student. Etiological myth. That's how it is pronounced. Because I am from a Malayalam medium. I never heard this from a professor. I never sat in class to listen to this. I only read somewhere and that echoes in my. So as like today you don't have a audio where you can check whether the pronunciation is correct. So most of that reasoning is not possible, but it happens and it proved to be right. That can be mathematics theorem. That can be an instance in which you give an answer to a question without even knowing the answer, or even don't even listen to the question. Suchita is listening to me for last few days. God promise, I don't know any of these what I speak. But that point of time what comes in my mind, that's what I speak. You understood? So that is what we call it as. That is why I keep saying, I was gifted with great gurus. They have given sufficient blessings, and that happens. There is a great saying. A guru went and asked a disciple went to the master, a student went to the master and told, yesterday night I had a great dream. I was a butterfly going around different flowers and then sucking honey. Then the master asked the student, how do you know you are really a butterfly and what you are today now talking to me is in your dream? You understood? What we think is myth can be our reality, and what we think is reality can be a myth. So there is a word called topin. Topin is fooling, thinking crazy about things, right? So this is called one of the Topin's story. We think that this is what is happening now is reality. No, not necessarily. When I am sleeping, that is my real life. When I wake up, it can be my dream. How do we know? So these are all great thoughts. We live on hope. But we know that future is Maya, Mithya, unpredictable, which cannot be. It's all Vyamoham. Moham is what I don't know whether it will happen. So these are all like really fooling ourselves, or we become crazy ourselves. We reach into the extreme happiness, which can be a bliss if everything goes well. If it doesn't go well, we say it's a big tragedy. Correct? So myth can be a big tragedy, and everybody can be too busy involved in myth until you realize your life itself is a big myth. Because probably myth is not important. The essence, the stories from the myth is what is important. That's why many people say life is a big myth. What is reality is death. Because until we end our life, we creating stories. We write our own stories. I've got a poetry book in which I wrote. Everybody is good in writing somebody's scripts. And I don't know who is going to write my script, Life of Love. Writing script for others. That's a movie, the story name. So these are all Rama story, Krishna story, everything is a myth created for a purpose. So if we make our life a purposeful one, then we can say, his life established a myth. Because we stay in this world at least for some more time. Assume we don't make any establishment and we finish our life without making anything strong, that man's story is over. Myth will never be over. Myth will stay. What is over is story is over. So that is the basic difference. Myth establishes, story doesn't establish. Any more questions? Any more comments?
I think Atira should ask something.
Anybody could ask. No, need not ask. You could comment. There is nothing like question and answer. Because you wanted my comment, I made a bigger comment.
It was useful. So, if you come across dreams, which are part of history, you can find out characters of history. Obviously, you can find out the names as well, the places. And you are not related to it. Not in this life.
Yes.
What could be done?
See, dream.
But you are coming across the places, the things which are part of Akhand Bharat. And even the temples, and that are related to a particular character which is painted badly in the history. And you don't have any relation,
Connections,
you never heard about it, and you never thought about it, that character. So what should be done? And how should you interpret those kind of dreams, and what should be your role in your life?
See, dreams are what Jagrat, Sopna, Sushupti. The other day also we had a discussion. Adria was present, Asha was present on dream. The dream is something which is core thoughts which haunted you for a long time. Where you were in Jagrat, you were totally involved in that. But desperately you wanted to see all of that alive in front of you. You want to be part of it. You want to visualize it. See, whatever certain done say, when I was young, my mother would have made me to sleep by patting on my back, but not singing names of me, but singing names of Lord Krishna. Understood? So I myself took part in that story. My grandfather I never saw. That doesn't mean grandfather have no role in my family. But probably my grandfather I never saw in my life and had no role in my life. But I own his property, hereditary. But still, who is closer to me? Rama is closer to me, Krishna is closer to me, because my mother kept on talking about the stories of Rama and Krishna during making me to sleep than mentioning about my grandfather's story. So you cannot say mythology is not part of my life. We are all part of that same stream. And see, I have no relation with Adira. Blood relation. Biologically, she is not my daughter. Probably she is more than my daughter because I have got lot of cousins, but not all of them are very close to me. Your relationship depends on how much time you spend each other. You understood? I must not have stayed with many of my cousins in their houses, but Bipin, I have stayed with him. Whenever I go to Gulf, Dubai, that's a place where I stay. He feeds me, he serves me food. So that relationship, I have got lot of cousins. But Jaipur I came because one of my cousin whom I keep on visiting in Jaipur, when the same cousin I visited Jaipur, she left to Northeast, I went to Northeast also. Shillong I went. You understood? And when she was in, I think the western border, there also I went. So wherever she was there, I was there. I went and visited her place at least once. But there are a lot of cousins, very maybe relationship wise same, but we don't keep them close. So if you ask me whether my blood relatives, neighbors are more closer to me or Krishna is closer to me, I have seen the picture of Krishna's life. I have seen how the Govardhanam was lifted by him. And my intention was to go and see Govardhan. So what did I do? I went to Govardhan. But I have not seen him lifting. But when I went there, I established, oh, this is what he has. So next day dream, I can see he was lifting Govardhanam and I was also part of that there. Understood? Because dream is what you don't see anything in your dream which you have neither read nor heard as a story nor created with some connection between different stories created together by yourself. You are so creative. So what do? I was telling the other day also. I can take Adira's head and connect it to somebody else and the dress worn by somebody else can be put onto them. I can make all this mix and match. That is what is
But
dream.
that should be dream, but I don't know. Is it a telepathy whatever?
No,
But
we call
you
it.
come across certain feelings.
Yeah, that what happens
Kind of
is.
dream. I'm asking about the dream, which when you are awake, you can see it. You have not been in a part of it. You have never heard about it. Still, you are dreaming it. So, what should be done? Either you should start exploring that part of the
Enjoy.
history.
Yeah, it is possible. It's enjoy. There is a trigger sometimes. See, actually, people say that you close your eyes and then close your indriyas and then meditate. Not necessarily. I believe in doing actions and meditation. So I can work maybe hours together on same activity where I'll never get tired. I don't even know the time tag. So what am I doing? Meditatively I am into action. That stage I enjoy. Dream stage also I enjoy. I can have my dreams. That means from Jagrat to Sushupti, when you go in between is the Supnavastha. It is actually not in our control, but we can control. There are people who can control it. Not necessarily you are on bed and it is the dark night, then only you have dream. Nothing like that. I can close my eyes and sleep now. And that sleep also I can visualize what I want to visualize. That's a gift given. Connect to whatever happened yesterday, I want a continuation today, that also can be done. I enjoy that. That's a beautiful state. Explore it yourself. But physically it may not be there. Physically you may not be able to reach there. But some people follow it. Some people go behind it. Yesterday we had a beautiful lecture in which you can imagine from Italy to India, need not walk. I have seen when I went to Kailash, I have seen people. We go for Kailash trip, go up to Kathmandu in aircraft, from there take a four-wheeler or maybe a helicopter, go up to Manasa Sarovar, from there walk around Kailash, maybe 3 days or 4 days of trekking. I had seen people who are circumambulation, they took 41 days. How do? They do namaskar. They lie on the floor, wherever the hand touches, the feet goes. And the 3 days of walking is equivalent to 41 days of namaskara pradachanam for them. And who are they? They are from somewhere in Netherlands. Not having any faith or belief in this system which we have, they never heard about this, but they had a call. I am sure they must have heard some story somewhere and then that triggered them. Yesterday he was telling, he went to different temples. I don't think many people would have ventured going to there and establishing a ashram in Ujjain and then staying there and learning, because they love that India. Because somewhere in childhood they would have heard. Maybe there is a connection. See, I keep saying, when we chant the slokas, we should believe that it is my great grandfather who is Shuchita's great grandfather. Because we belong to same tradition. Only Saptarshis were there. So all the children who are here are all part of those Saptarshis. So we are connected to one of this. Understood? So there we get connected, we know, oh, there is some relation. So if we have that relation, they have that relation, 100% there is a DNA pattern which matches, and then we can connect to them. So don't say that I have no connection, they are not related to me. Therefore I establish each one of the character which we learn in the Puranas, Itihasas are also part of our great grandfather's tradition. So we belong to that tradition. So nothing wrong. Yeah.
I think
Actually, can I?
Yeah. Shall I?
Shall I? I would like to ask about free will. Sharanagati, free will.
Sharanagati.
Yeah, what's that all about?
What is Sharanagati?
Like surrendering to the universe, the cosmos God, something like that.
There is nothing called cosmos. We are all part of the cosmos. Each cell is part of my cosmos. Don't think that when we say nature, it is something different and I am above or out of the nature. No. That's why I wanted to say. When many people keep speaking cosmos is something away and I am not. No. Each one of us is part of that, the great cosmos. So what is surrendering to that? Sharanam means surrendering. So what is surrendering to cosmos?
Surrendering to ourselves.
Surrendering to ourselves. What I want, I must be able to do it freely. Why are we not able to do it freely?
Ego.
One is ego. What is ego? Ego is maturity. As you grow higher and higher, society have made that you should have these words should be spoken like this, these should not be spoken like this, otherwise somebody will laugh at you. Understood? So we create an ego which is not ourselves. The society has given to us. When I meet Arati, immediately there is an ego. I meet Asha, there is a immediate another ego. When I meet my nephew, I have got a different ego. Oh, he is my nephew. Understood? When I talk to Dr. Shuchita, she is a very newly associated. So I should not show ego. But whereas Adira, I can show ego because she is there with me for last so many years. So I have an ego of a teacher. You understood? So we condition ourselves to fit in an environment where, what is that every human being want? We want power, we want position, we want money, we want fame, we want love. Wherever we want, we will keep diluting it or establishing it. That cannot happen when you surrender. So one is the obstacle is ego. Okay, next one.
Desires.
Desire. Without desire, human beings are not there. Without desire, do you think I will have this Google Meet now? No. Without desire, will you ask a question?
No.
Without desire, are you a human being? Have you seen any animal without desire? Is it possible to surrender your desire? No, it is not desire. Over desire. See, you should not get binded by your desires. Sometime what will happen? Oh, if I don't get it finished, I want Dr. Shuchita to have a conversation with me. It is not Dr. Shuchita asked. I asked Shuchita in the first beginning. If you have seen, I asked you, we can have a dialogue. I will give my account email address. You can look at that all the messages which I have, including Gabriel. I gave the invitation today. But I did not ask, we can have a dialogue. See, sometimes it clicks, yeah, this person will ask a question to you. You understood?
Definitely.
So, if you don't ask, do I become depressed?
No.
Then I am binded to my desire. See, the desire is what makes you to assume that somebody asks a question. And I keep saying, you have every freedom to ask question. I have every freedom to answer or not to answer. If I don't answer, see, you should not become overreactive to, that is what? Sthita Pratnavastha. See, the conditions which is employed in Bhagavad Gita is actually the meditative level to take you to that sannyasa level. Moksha sannyasam is surrendering. That is Sharanagati. Actually, you are not surrendering to your master. You are surrendering to yourself. That is your free will. Yeah, if you want to answer, if you don't do, don't answer. No problem. You understood? I believe that my mother should speak to me like this. Actually, who is demanding it? You are demanding. In Lalita Sahasranamam, there is a name for Devi. Shatru Buddhir Vinashaya. Who is Shatru? Who is enemy to you?
Your own way.
You are only your enemy. If anybody talks bad about me, I have no problem at all. Why? Because I am not going to hear it. Okay, I may hear it because my ear is working. I may read it because by mistake it can come to me. My email comes, I will read. But if somebody calls me bad names, why should I take it? Why should I listen whatever I am hearing? That is in my hand. That ability is what you should have. If you don't have, what will happen? You get irritated. When you get irritated, what will happen? You become your own you free will? No, it is actually not free will. Because soon after getting irritated, you think that, I should not have got. Nothing wrong in getting irritated. You can get irritated. But do you know how to stop it immediately? And then, forget about it. Let us have a now new deal. Are we ready for that? If you are not, your free will doesn't work. Because you become a servant of your own thoughts. A servant of your own ego. Servant of your own so-called established facts and rules and societal. We are all being social being because society told us this is how we should behave. We don't have free will. I cannot do whatever I like to do in front of everybody in the world. But yes, I can do it. Hidingly I can do it. Understood? So, but assume that hidingly I am not able to do it. Then what will happen? That will keep irritating me. Will I be able to control that irritation? Yes, controlling. But controlling is not free will. I am forcing me. Will I be able to remove that is what is to be done. How do I remove? I can keep on changing my focus. So what is the best method? Dilution. Focusing is only where I wanted, diluting wherever I don't want. That is where it is called dharana pratyahara. You imagine pratyahara is where dilution. I am not looking at my indriyas at all. Whereas the next step is dharana, focusing. So what is free will? Getting into myself without any of this indriya controlling me. I control my indriya and I can focus where I want to focus. So yoga is actually Sharanagati. These are all different names, different ways of looking at same thing. I do every action meditatively so that I will not conflict myself. My Atma will not tell my Buddhi will not tell my Manas will not tell my Atma, oh, why are you doing it? I am doing it meditatively. I am doing it with free will. I am doing it as per that is where the cosmos. What is the cosmos? It is Yada Pinde Tada Brahmanda. Each cell in my body tells you do this, so I am doing it. I am free. Nothing. Once this is done, forget about it. That's it. But we cannot. There is a time scale, there is a time gap. We keep thinking about it. After that, forget about it. If we want to do corrective process, probably we'll have to look at it because we live in a society. So little pretension, little bit of free will. If you can make it to 10, 90, 20, 80, beautiful. That's good enough. Good enough? Anything more?
I'll keep on asking if you want.
Yeah.
If you have time.
I have no problem. I am in free will. I am the master of my time. I am a retired person.
If you have time. No,
Yeah,
the
no issue.
retired person also has a basis to talk or not.
Yeah.
So, if we can talk about the rins, rin matlab Hindi wala rin. So do you think there is an incarnation or there are rin which can be left unfulfilled and we are carrying on and we should fulfill those?
Actually, in each Janma, we have one is Pitrurana. I have got a obligation to my parents because they gave me birth. And what Dr. TPS is, half of that is what my father has given. My mother used to keep looking at my leg and say, exactly like my father. Each basic character which I have probably is what is that. But then 50% is given by my father. That is why we keep saying in every language it may be there. In my mother tongue Malayalam it says, Nyan Padi, Devam Padi. Devam means my forefather. Father doesn't mean no mother. Mother is also called the father, who has given Janma, that's it. So father or mother. So 50% is by them. What is 40%? 40% is my neighborhood who contributed to me. So that I have got a societal Ranam. Samuha Dharmam. Ranam is also Dharmam. So I have got a Samuha Dharmam. I have to serve my people. I have to take care of what I can do to my nephew. Probably my nephew's mother is my sister and she has also taken care of me. And I am not able to serve them. So what do? I do it to my nephew. I do it to my nephew's daughter. I do it to my nephew's son. So I am repaying it back. So Acharya Ranam. What is Acharya Ranam? I was blessed to be the student of Swami Vedabharati meditation. Veda from Brahmasri KPC Arijan Bhattacharya. Astrology and Vastu from Payyanur Keshavan Acharya. If I don't teach that to somebody else, I am doing a great papa. Because I have not paid them. These are not paid. I have not paid to my mother for taking care of me. I have not paid to my gurus for whatever they taught me. Not to the university degree. University degree you are already paid, so you don't have to worry about it. So the Rinam can be with there are different methods. Dhanam can be one of the payment back. Second may be taking his message and spreading it across. Now Adira need not pay me anything at all, because Adira have taken me to her college and made me to give a lecture there. So she has taken my message to many people. See, that is one of the method of providing your paying back, right? Serving physically, maybe giving them food, taking care of them when they are old, serving them. They're all part of the Rinams. So Acharya Rinam, Pitru Rinam, and there are a lot of people, animals other than human beings, small birds, small insects. We have removed all of them to construct my house. So I have a Rinam to all the other Bhutatmas. They are called Bhuta Rinam. So what do? We give some food to them and take care of them. Any extra food, when you put it in somewhere, instead of putting it into the sink, keep it in a place and let some crow, maybe some squirrel, somebody can eat, even ant can eat, rat can eat. It's beautiful, good. Adira knows in my house I have kept a big drum, and then I want all the dogs, squirrels, everybody to come and drink water there. Because well is too down. Now everybody is washing burtons outside, no drainage, nothing is open because we are scared about mosquitoes. But then at least for some time keep some water there so that somebody can drink, right? Squirrels are going out from the world. Today I got a beautiful picture which I saw my mango tree, squirrel was eating. So I don't want the squirrel to run away. I want the squirrel to eat it. I was enjoying seeing that the mango is eaten by the squirrel. So I called my son and then said, take a picture. Beautiful picture you can see. This is from my garden. Today what is clicked. So the mango, beautiful mango. Let the squirrel eat, no. It is not mine because the mango tree is not planted by me. So we are giving it back to the Buddha. Devaranam. We always say that this is God's blessing. I met you because of God's blessing. Guru met me because of God's blessing. I have been given with a beautiful place to sit and talk and eat and sleep. These are all given by God. So we have got but that is part of our everyday ritual.
Yes.
Everyday ritual that is to be done. Yeah.
Then I'm good, on the good path. I'm doing all this.
All these have to be done. Nriyatnam, Adhiti Pujanam. There are many ways. Helping people by Adhiti Pujan. Adhiti Puja means now we don't have Adhitis at all. With the Tithi. Tithi means with the date only we have. What time to meet? Tomorrow, 3 o'clock. That means you are not an Adhiti. You are not a guest. You are invited. Right?
Yes.
So everybody is invited today. Hardly we get... so today what I did was we had a bunch of mangoes. The lady who is watering our garden, the whole thing I gifted. I said, take it. And she was thinking, why? I said, take it. Because the mango tree will give me mango every day, right? Which she will not take it because she is scared. What she will do, she will collect it and put it. Actually, I am not giving anything. I am only keeping it for a day and giving next day. That's it. Yeah. We have temple rituals, festivals in Kerala. I think everywhere it will be there. But I am not seeing that festival seasons in different part of the country. Where the priest will carry the god on the head. and take circumambulation around the temple. And the chief priest, this is an assistant priest who will carry. The chief priest will go in the first line. They will carry little bit of rice and then put it onto the ground. And that is called Sri Bhuda Bali. So before feeding the god, before he celebrates festival of the temple, for construction of the temple, many other Bhudatmas were removed, make them happy. There is a temple in Karnataka Kerala border where first Bhuda Bali is done. Next, every person, probably we have got a caste system by the job which they do. The priest is doing a great job serving the god directly. But then the next, whoever is the lowest cadre. In an office structure, peon is called the lowest and the boss is the superintendent. First food is served to the lowest person by the chief priest first. So you see the caste system is not there because the chief priest is serving the lowest cadre, then next cadre, then next cadre, then the priest will eat, then it is fed to the god. That's a sequence in which it is given. So God is not important to us, but God is important. Other than God, who is important? Who is around us, who are serving me is more important. So God is not somebody who is away. God is around us. Ena kena prakarena yasya kasyapi dehinaha sandosham janayat pratna tadaivam ishvara pujanam. Whoever gives me happiness, whoever gives me knowledge, whoever gives me food, whoever gives me job, whoever gives me money, whoever satisfies my ego, all of them are God for me. Serve them. That is equivalent to serving God. Asha is there. Shivakumar is there. Raja, Vignesh Raku. Who else? Lakshmi Pradeep is there. T.S. Guru. Lakshmi Pradeep and all does lot of social service. He is,
You are blessing Guruji.
he is in Andhra Pradesh. Core of Andhra Pradesh.
I must be having a relation with Andhra Pradesh.
Oh,
I have so many friends I came across. It's like serendipity.
Andhra Pradesh. Yeah. చెప్పండి పర్వాలేదు.
మీ దీవులతోటి అందరూ
Good. Sajit Kumar is there. IBMC. Yeah.
Hi sir.
Namaste.
Mose.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anything to add? My brother is also there, Narayanan Kuti. Adira, Asha? Yeah. Vignesh?
No, nothing now.
क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है पर एक I need a way out. People start criticizing our religion often.
Other?
Our religion
Yeah.
often.
Okay.
We are liberal. We don't go into the criticism or we don't believe it. Definitely, we are yogis. You should not listen to it. But they are using it to convert people.
Yeah. Nothing wrong.
What should be done?
Nothing wrong. See, Chinmayananda Swami, the Chinmaya mission, he said once, if I can convert all the Hindu people as real Hindus, that is the greatest conversion which I am supposed to do.
Yes.
I don't think no religion is left without criticisms.
But they don't let you criticize.
No,
theirs.
that no problem. See, we are tolerant all the time. That is because even if somebody speaks bad about me, I am not going to get lost. Therefore, I have the courage. You tell what you want. But somebody else don't have the tolerance because they know that it is going to be a big flop for them.
KP sir, in terms of political
No, don't mix religion with the politics. What happened was
demography.
Christianity had lot of political activities based on Christianity. That is what led them to rule other countries. Muslims had similar vendetta of overpowering, going to some other place, converting them, getting them to that. Only Hindus so far survived without any problem was because we have not mixed religion and politics. I'll tell you who converted first in India. It is in Kerala. Christians landed in Kerala first. Muslims landed in Kerala first. The basic reason was Kerala rulers were so liberal. When they landed in Kerala, we had severe diseases. And those people were not able to survive in the climatic conditions. Because for those people who came from different parts of the world, like Dutch came, Portugal came, Britishers came, all of them could not survive here. They had lot of disease. And most of the Vaidyas are all high caste Savarna Hindu people. Mainly cross-belt people, Brahmins. They said we will not treat them because they are all mlechas. Mlecha means they don't understand my language. That's only meaning. I don't understand their language. Without language, I can understand how do I treat somebody. That is untouchability. Untouchability means I will not touch someone who don't understand my language. Because I don't know whether he is scolding or loving me. Got it? But then what our king have done, our kings started bribing the doctors, the traditional Kerala Vaidya doctors, asking them to convert into Christianity. So that they are not part of my caste, they are your caste, then you treat them. Money was given, house was given, salary was given, extra allowance was given and said please, because they are our guests, they should not die in our land. The king's job is to take care of them. So actually conversion was popularized not by Christians, not by Muslims. It's our own king. Nothing wrong. In terms of service, we have done it. Other day you heard Sebastian Vallasheri, who was talking, who said, my great-great-grandfather was a Brahmin. They are all Vaidyas. That also he mentioned.
Yes.
So there are Vaidyas in Christian community. They were traditionally Hindus.
But sir, when I come across the people who are converted, I go on ground, but they give up. आपके यहाँ ये सब rituals किए जाते हैं इसलिए, and they are doing the same ritual in their own religion.
See,
Then why should people get diverted?
that is what I'm
Do
saying.
ritual of your choice is good,
Yeah.
but why go into some other religion and do the similar ritual?
Now assume that I have got a library which contains lot of books, and the mathematics department contains 100 to 200 books. But to get my MSc, I need only one book to learn. Generally, we have guide or all in one. The whole examination question and answer is given very, very brief. 100% people will opt for that. And even if I believe, I will not get medical reimbursement. But if I believe in somewhere else, I will get medical free, education free. So a lot of bribing has been given. But why people worry? I'll tell you, individuals are converted by institutions in our country, either to Christians or Muslims. Individuals. But what is happening in other part of the Western country, if you go, most of the ashrams, all of them got established not in India. You look at Maharishi Mahayogi, Chinmaya Swami, Osho, Dayananda Saraswati, you name anybody, including me, I finished teaching my Bhagavad Gita only in America. There are a lot of listeners and I taught in a church. You tell me, is it not a great thing in a church on a Sunday, Dr. TPS is called to explain Dashavatar to the American young children? You understood? That means the priest of the temple, the community in that place, the young children. And how did I taught? I took a big box, put every Dashavataram, small puppets are available in Andhra Pradesh. And those puppets I got it to gift to somebody. So I put it in a box and I asked one wife, you can see that. I will send you that link. If you send me a WhatsApp, I will send you the link or I will send you there on the Facebook. The child will come and take it. And he said, fish. Yeah, I said, this is the first avatar. And I will display, this is first avatar, this is second avatar. The picture is displayed on the projector. So the child will take this and then see match. Yo, this is fish, first avatar I got. The other child gets a kurman, they will say, no, oh, I did not get. Show me what? In 5 minutes of play, all of them learned the Dashavataram. So with a lot of fun, I made them to learn. These are the methods which I used to teach them what is Hinduism there. Otherwise, you cannot give a lecture, Malsya Kurma Varaha, nothing will work. They learned 6 different languages and ethnic expo. I made them to sing songs. Ganesha Bhajan. Imagine, I think it is possible for me to teach Christians and Muslims and they will sing nicely. But I am sure Hindus will not even sing or chant or attend any of this Quran, or I learned it for my educational academic interest. Otherwise people don't, but they accept. So they are ready to convert themselves, but we don't take them. Hinduism cannot be, it has to be by birth. You cannot get converted into Hinduism. So what is being done now? We have got, indirect method. Arya Samajam is converting. I remember one of my friend whose daughter wanted to marry a Muslim, but he took a oath, I will only get my daughter married to Hindu. And you know what that Muslim did from Gulf? Came to Arya Samajam, converted into a Hindu and got married. I have got in my office where I was working in government, his name is Jacob and he is attending church, but every Saturday and Thursday he goes to temple also. By faith he is a Hindu. For reservation purposes he is a Christian. So who made this? It's our own government of India who made reservation. Now after long years, Kerala High Court made an observation which is happening in Kerala for long years for madrasa, teaching the Muslim activities or maybe teaching Quran in the younger childhood in all the mosques and related to schools. Government is paying money. Recently High Court has made an observation. Why you are paying? As if High Court doesn't know so far. Only when somebody asks, court can give a verdict, right? So it came as a case because of reservation. So political, where we have mixed, where we have given advantage for others is when political advantage wanted, we did this. So therefore, if political advantage purpose we popularize Hinduism, it is going to be still dangerous.
No, let Hindus be Hindus, let other religions be the way they want to worship their Lord.
No, see,
They're not interrupting in that.
No, every individual has a freedom. to learn different religion. If they feel I am getting help from somebody, I also will. I remember in Delhi when I was giving lectures in different temples, I had got a driver who was a Christian, who was telling, sir, आपको तनका भी नहीं मिलते, खाना भी दे देते. Then on the way I used to eat on some dhaba and then go. हमारे चर्च पे आ जाओ ना आप, आपको रोज हम खिलाएंगे. You don't have to speak this much. I can speak a little less and then make more money there. So anybody can get tempted, nothing wrong. Why not? But I will tell you, see, there is a saying, from the sea, the sun is taking lot of water, but the sea is not getting drained, because all those clouds will again harvest rain and my sea will become more and more cleaned and filled.
Maybe.
So anybody goes out, no problem. When they go out,
Hindus are not going out. They are not practicing their own religion themselves.
that is because the Hindu religion stayed this long in this world because we are not very strict. If we become very strict, people will become adamant. You don't compare Hinduism with the Muslim and Christian, which is only 700, 800 year old, 2000 year old. It will not stay longer, it will die fast. See, otherwise Buddhism spread so fast, Jainism was spreading so fast, and what has happened after that? It's all reduced. Otherwise the growth was so fast, it would have been 100% Buddhist in India. Every kings were also converting. Nothing happened. See, I will tell you, we have got Sri Narayana Guru in Kerala. Many lower caste people were not allowed to go to temples. Then what Sri Narayana Guru did? He constructed his own temple. Understood? Every district we have got a Sri Narayana Guru's temple. Now after that, what government did? Allowed all the lower caste people also to enter in temple. Now you know what the lower caste people say. See, now most of the people will go to all the temples, right? If they go to only my temple, the revenue would have been more in those temples, right? Now it is getting distributed to other temples also. So opening temple for all the caste was not a great blessing for them. It was actually a bad blessings for them. Got it? So there are different versions. People can look at what changes happen. But whatever change happens, I'll tell you, Roman Catholic cannot enter into the other church, Syrian Catholic. Syrian Catholic and Roman Catholic cannot enter into there is a Malabar Catholic. Syrian Catholic is there. They cannot. But whereas, whatever you are in terms of either Hindu or not, it doesn't matter. At least are you ready to say, hey Bhagavan, Krishna, Rama, Govinda, if you are not famous, you have not declared yourself I am a Christian, then you can enter. Correct? So and lot of people go. I think we don't have got a register in which we have been written that we are Hindus and we have faith. At least at the time of death or after the death, all the rituals traditionally done by family, we are all part of it. Got it? Maybe we will not take oath when we get elected in assembly or in parliament. In the name of God, I take. That doesn't matter whether they do it or not. Yeah, they see those who are not doing, whether they are corrupt or non-corrupt, either in names of God also they become uncorrupt or corrupt. Without that also they become. So it doesn't matter. We don't want it to popularize. We don't want it to take. See, there are different versions. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna were. My nephew is a great advocate of that. Right? They believe Rama is not there, Krishna is only there. So everybody has got a freedom in this group. We don't say that no, whether you believe in Devi or don't believe in Devi, whether you feed blood or flesh, whether you give jaggery or sugar, doesn't matter. You have every freedom. That freedom is what made Hinduism to sustain this much. And it is the largest religion available. It will become more and more popular. Only thing we have to take care of the so-called fractions who are all, we have got fake Swamis more than normal Swamis.
Yes, that is the biggest problem.
Okay, because we cannot shoot them. Imagine a Swami is hiding and living and creating videos and then popularizing himself. He is taking Shiva avatar, Vishnu avatar, and people are doing puja to him, and you have got 7 lakhs of views in 2 days. Got it? And people are not able to locate where is he today. We are not able to catch him because he has done lot of crimes, but his location we are not able to. I understand in this world when he is able to put videos on and lakhs of people are following him, we are not able to track him and say where he is he. So that power, if you want to use, probably sometime you will have to go against Hinduism also. But I am sure, that is what I am saying. So if there are, when we clean our rice, what we do is, if there is bad things, we will have to throw it out, right? So first we have to make this clean. That cleaning process is what is essential. But we don't have an authority because we have that freedom.
That freedom is gone.
That is because it is part of government. Government is not a single individual who rules for some time. Government is a long tradition. Got it? So Subramanya Swami temple or maybe Padmanabha Swami temple is not property of somebody. It is property of government.
I am not against Sikhism or something like that. But Sikhs propagate their langars so much. We had langars.
No, we are also doing. Don't say we are not doing.
It's part and parcel of our own temples.
See, I will tell you the number of temples which came in Western country in the last 20 years or 30 years. I don't think any Muslim country would have allowed to construct a temple. Now Abu Dhabi, Dubai border, a huge area, maybe the biggest temple ever constructed. Swaminarayana temple. Are we not making? Delhi, so proud of having a Swaminarayana temple in the center of the city, right? Tell me when you travel National Highway, you see all the green, white boards written. Only temple names are written as landmarks. Is it not? We are not advertising. Government is also advertising. Got it? So this is there. And government property, temple property is part of the temple. The Bhagavan is the authority. It's a trust who rules. And they have huge money. So we have such a legal system. We have such a governmental system which cannot be broken by anyone. Otherwise, temple would have been sold by people to somebody else. We are not able to sell it because it's a government property and the system is so strong. We must salute our people who created the constitution and the temple property, how it is handed over to government. Every king liberally gave it. You can imagine they would have been holding it and saying it is my property. They did not do that. They left it. Left it for whom? For the next generation. So we have, when they left politics, when they left this country to the government, they also left the temples and gods. So they are safe here. We don't have to worry at all.
But I feel like convents I admire Chinmaya ji, Guru Chinmaya ji, because he had established education institutions and all.
Yeah, most of the people who went to West.
And slowly, yes.
West and started popularizing, collecting money. They sold our knowledge and gathered a lot of public around them. I'm 100% sure that is what we should do. We need not criticize because Shankaracharya never criticized any other religion while spreading Hinduism. If we believe Shankaracharya is the one who re-established Hinduism when Jainism and Buddhism were spread, there are two versions. Either he was before that or after that. If he was before that, many Shankaracharyas followed, none of them spoke against any other religion. So I only, like any political people also, I keep saying, you don't have to waste your time criticizing other political party. We have to talk about what development is, what I have to contribute to the society. Similarly, Hinduism need to speak about what we can do for social service. We don't have to talk about what others are doing. Automatically, we will take care of our children. But we need to create a social bondage and we need to create associate together. But I will tell you, if I send 1,000 messages that there is a lecture like life, and immediately the response from the so-called Hindu great workers are very, very less. If you say Bhagavad Gita, they think I know. Why should I study?
Then can know.
Yeah, that is the problem. They must know that, yeah, there are something more to learn. But not many Quran classes are attended by people, they don't know Quran. No, they know Quran, but still they will attend. It is not that Bible cannot be read and they cannot understand, but still they will go every Sunday and listen. How much they attend to it is a different matter. Shraddha we don't know, but they go. Ritualistically they go. Because it is like a penalty. If you don't attend, if you have to attend a church, you have to pay 5% of the salary. Contribution is must. And if you don't attend, after death you don't even get a place for your dead body to get cremated there. So therefore they are forcing. It's like a strict discipline. We don't strictly say, we say that it's okay, free will. That's good, nice to have. But I don't think most of the Muslim countries, the real native Muslims are not even following. I have been to most of the Western country. I have seen there is a church bar in the London city centre. Once upon a time it was a church. Now it is a bar. Therefore it is called a church bar. When I took a photograph, they said earlier it was like a dance parlor. So churches are converted into that. I don't think in India any temple has been converted into some such things. Still we have got some people, society is very active in protecting it. Right? So it's good. We are not bad. We are not that.
We are not.
Yeah. And I don't think most of the wars were not between Hindus to anybody else. It were all between Christians and Muslims. That means fighting, war, every war. You look at all the war which happened. It's all because of the Muslim-Christian involvement. Now even what is happening, which is the hottest portion in the world today, what is burning? Problem? Israel-Palestine.
Israel.
Who is creating? It's between Muslims and Christians. Christians or Jews, both are same. Because they were all that who converted, right? We don't see such burning problems in any part of the Hindu community. We are not able to tolerate small problems because we are not seeing big problems.
I come from a part which has seen lot of invasion.
Yeah, that inversions were and many people were converted, but I'm sure we did not lost anything. We got a lot of.
We still come across families. One brother is Hindu, one brother is
It's good.
Muslim.
Yeah.
And that tree is coming down.
Very good.
And they know that Mughals came here, they have converted us forcefully. We love Hinduism, but we don't want to convert.
No, that is correct because once upon a time they had some benefit. I keep saying maybe your great grandfather got some extra money and got converted. I happen to speak like this because my great grandfather did not do that mistake. Understood? Or I was not in that part of Rajasthan or somewhere. Otherwise I would have been a Maula or Fakhruddin or somebody today.
Basically, because all kind of partitions are converted into other religions.
Correct.
Especially in Jaipur.
Yeah, but
I find.
I know.
If you go to Naginakar,
See, everybody knows the fighters came as only. The fighters male only came when the male came, they wanted a female partner. And they had a very strong religious practice that they will not marry widows, they will not marry young children, they will not marry those who are married. So they had different programs of changing the culture. That is where sati, our tradition of marriage in the young age is because to save the children. As soon as they took birth, probably they will get married. Because once they get married, Muslims will not, because it's somebody's wife. See, therefore, some
They were not that good.
of the traditions and cultures we had was also imposed on Hinduism as Hindu culture, because we want to survive. Therefore, we created some culture part of our activity. These are all non-facts, but there is no point in doing a postmortem on something which happened 800 years back. So what we need is, we need to make our children learn. That's what I'm doing. Every day, tomorrow also there is a group of people in Andhra Pradesh where I am teaching Bhagavad Gita. I am saying not young individual, I need whole family to join. So maybe 100 people will join. So I am doing lot of satsangs every day. Every day there are satsangs happening. See, that is how I knew Lakshmi Prasad and all that. We were teaching lot of slokas. Keep on teaching, so that I am sure 100% some people will get some benefit. 10% is good enough, which I did not get in my childhood. I never had. We are trying to do as best as we can do.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
But how much, in this context, I need to ask you, how much of the history that we learn today are actually our history? Because
Yesterday I was mentioning the dating of history. Lot of the so-called Western historians sat together. There were 40 of them. They decided we will not go and then search what happened before this. All of them we will fit into this textbook and say this is what the date where it started, this is where Buddha came, this is where Jain came, this is where Hindus came. And all the Vedas are written 3,500 years back. Don't ask anything else. This is what is to be taught from today onwards to the whole world. So they rewrote everything. Nobody could counter it because we don't have any authoritative textbook which was printed and distributed like this. So what we know today as history of different religions, all of them are cooked up, hooked up, manufactured by the so-called historians, which they wanted to establish themselves as historians with full authority. Understood? So we have, why that again I will ask you, how does it matter whether it is 10,000 years or 3,000 years old? That's why yesterday also I was telling, when Rama is 16 lakhs years old is what our mythology says. That's what made Suchita, Dr. Suchita to ask this question. Because yesterday I mentioned. So I was looking at her face, she was telling this is where I have to catch. Right? So I am sure 16 lakhs when we say, mythologically there is, or maybe astronomically we can prove. But astronomical proofs are not accepted by historians sometimes. Got it? So historians made a story and say that Rama does not exist. Krishna, we don't know, but Dwapara was there. And there was one temple there. There was one, because they got some debris. The big compound wall is available, which was under the sea. Arabian Sea has taken it inside. So therefore there was a palace. And whose palace was that? Yeah. By looking at some archaeological facts, carbon dating technology, they decided it is 3,500. That's it. Because for every microscope there is a limit in which I can zoom. Beyond that I cannot zoom. Similarly, archaeological survey also have got a limitation. See, understand, no stone can be aged. Age of a stone cannot be determined. Understood? Construction style can be determined. But construction style, who knows what is constructed when? The trees, yes. Maybe the life of a tree, yes. But archaeologically, when it is existing beyond some time, that's what I said, 3500. Anything archaeologically you see, you say around 3500. Finish. Right? So civilizations, all 3500. Less than that. You put 3227, you put 3108. That's it. That's how they decided. Because the time scale they wanted to put like that. That's what happened. Luckily, they were not very harsh. Otherwise, they would have put 2000 and then said Yeshu came first, Adam and Havva came first. And 5 days they disappeared, and after 5th day, from the grave they came back, and then that is how the whole world is created from the backbone.
Very true, sir.
Understood? They were not very harsh, probably. That is, we have to be thankful for them. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Good enough? We have history people also here. We have, yeah, historians are there. Vignesh Raghu's wife is a history professor. Right? Rani.
That was the only subject I was afraid of.
No, but history is very simple. I teach history in terms of mathematics as a single line.
Yeah, but you have to cram lot.
No, nothing. It's very simple. Only thing you must relate to things and then learn. Understood? That is very, very simple. I have got the whole history in the world, religious history, political history, writers' history, literature history, all the kings and their history, everything in one single Excel sheet. If I get a doubt, I can just click and then find it out. That's it. As simple as that. What I did was, made a timeline and started plotting. And when this poet was here, who was the Western poet? So relate to them. That's how I learned. When Ramakrishna was there, which year, what age, Vivekananda went and met. That time, whether Srinarayana Guru, what age he was there. So relate to them. Like they are all our relatives. How do I remember my mother's date of birth? I don't remember. I remember at this age I took birth. And I relate that to my mother's age. And then subtract. That's how I do. That's very simple. Okay, Bipin, you want to add anything?
Most probably the reason why we are not following is because the olden Vedas was not written initially. It was only verbal pass on. And most probably only it was written later on when they thought that it is being lost. Is that correct? That is why we are...
No, I think mostly what we believe is, I believe my father was a great believer. He has done good things. My mother was a great believer. He has done good things. She has done good things. And then we believe if they were good, nothing will affect him. Our family faith system was very strong. But for other religion, you have to do it. Otherwise, you don't get benefit. And by the time I get a child and I start believing, then I will think, yeah, I should also do something. Otherwise, my kids will also suffer. But then still we believe my grandfather has done, some benefit will go to them. That's good enough. Then this generation don't want to learn, but they want their children to learn. So most of the time the request which I get is, when I wanted to teach Bhagavad Gita, immediately my daughter want to learn, my son want to learn. I said, did you learn? No, I don't want to learn. I finished my time. So they want to escape, but their children want to be safer. Right? And they believe their parents knew, my children want to learn, and this generation leave it us. Anyway, we have gone case. That is what the problem is. Okay? Good enough? Keep getting some questions, discuss, share it. Meet sometime. Asha and we met last week, and that book I posted today. It takes long time for editing. So, and sometimes some people will say, where is this? I missed it, I want it. So I may give some priority for some posting. Otherwise, in sequence only I am posting. So every day there are maybe at least some 10 of them are pending for posting. Right. So I edit that and then post it. Asha's, yeah, Asha's discussed, we finished it. Yeah. Yeah.
Big request.
Yeah.
When we go into lectures and you are interested, when I listen to you,
Yeah.
you were talking like a normal human being.
Okay.
But people who enter into yoga or spirituality or religion, they think they are supernatural and nobody else.
That is Dr. Sujita. That is not because of that.
And that's so uninteresting.
No, that
And
is
you
because-
have to be patient.
That is because they read the textbook. I will tell you, you heard great speakers on the first day. I will send you those lectures who they gave at least 4 years back. No full stop, no question, nothing changed. Exactly same blah blah. You give any topic, let that be yoga, let that be Hinduism, let that be ritual, everything they will same philosophical terminology.
And then they stick to the mic.
That is it. Understood? And they have a group of people. So sometime I am very harsh, so I will hit them straight. That makes other people also, yeah, this man is telling me fact. Most of the days, soon after my lecture, Dilip ji calls me and says, yeah, I cannot do that, you did it. Thank you. Because I don't care, because somebody calls me for a lecture or not, I don't care at all. Understood? But those people, they want, without that they cannot live. So that is what they do. Anyway, doesn't matter. Some philosophy is good. Listening to them once or twice is good. Okay. That is okay.
You gain a little.
Yeah. But I don't speak from text. I don't have anything in front of me. I have books, what I wrote, probably what I read. These people like Asha, Atira, Bipin, all of them stayed with me for days together. Got it? So
Let's be
10 days, only one teacher who engages probably from 6 o'clock morning till 9 o'clock, Atira. And sometime you can see my poetry was interested by somebody, they want to read. The whole night we were reading. We finished at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock again the day starts without sleep. So it goes like that. That's how we lived together. So that is what happens in my old house in Kerala, where that's like a hermitage. Bipin also has a share. His mother is also partner there. It's an undivided property. So what we are doing is, that is where the children come and then stay. I conducted almost 20-25 camps. Nearly 400-500 children came from different countries. Many Christians, many Muslims, all of them enjoy learning. Right? And we also ask them to pray whatever they want. We also want to hear it, their prayers. No religious practices, but we learn our Indian culture, the Bharatiya tradition, Bharatiya culture. And I keep saying, I am teaching this because I happen to be in that religion. If I would have been somewhere else, I would have been doing something else. But we keep learning history, mathematics, science, physics, health science, lot of slokas, subhashitams, many. You can see Gnanam, that's a camp name. There are a lot of videos there. Because of COVID, we did not do. Otherwise, yeah, we will do sometime in Jaipur also.
Yes, you are most welcome.
There are a lot of big palaces. We will occupy this palace and then start classes.
Yeah.
Big palaces. Probably Jaipur and Udaipur is one place where I really loved. I had a intelligence commissioner posted by me when I was in cabinet secretariat as director general of security. One of the chief secretary's son happened to be my junior. For long years he was looking for a transfer to police from cabinet secretary, and he had a doctorate computer science, and I posted him as intelligence officer in Jaipur. So when I visited Jaipur, he came to airport to pick me up. It was like a police convoy for me. I was going for a temple program, giving a lecture in Ayyappa temple. He made a police program. So I've got a lot of my children, my students, my associates in Jaipur. Good enough? We'll keep meeting sometime. It's long that we. Yeah. Tell me. Namaste.
Meet Konnur also. Ekasila Vigraham is there.
Sure.
Hanuman.
Yeah, Punnur is one of they are from Punnur. So Punnur is one of the best place. Sure, we will make it.
There.
See you tomorrow. Bhagavad Gita
Party
class.
also.
Bhagavad Gita class evening.
Okay, Guruji.
Okay.
Okay. Guruji.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Bipin പോയിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ?
I must learn this language.
Oh, you are still there. That's Malayalam.
I should learn.
Poi means gone. So I was asking whether Bipin left or not.
Okay.
Because generally we don't even meet. Dubai is not connected for WhatsApp calls. So I was just asking whether Bipin left.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bipin unmute ചെയ്യണം. Yeah.
ஆமா
എന്തുണ്ട്?